Come, one and all, it's story time with Rifkin as I go into this vlog. What is number 5, I think? 5 of 5? Whoa, we're getting out there. Um, Today's vlog, as the title said, is going to be, well, first off, not being able to talk properly, but more importantly, discussing the rage issues I have with this Disney buyout of Star Wars thing that, it really should have been like a 1 week topic that died out, but people seem to still be arguing about it on my Facebook, and oh god, it makes me so mad. Ugh. Okay, so first things first, I want to point out Disney buying Star Wars is not a bad thing. This is not even like an opinion based thing, this is just pure facts, like with no bias thrown in there. Now here's why. Star Wars in general is a great brand, whatever, but it hasn't done anything for a while. They've been putting out these really kind of subpar video games, but since the last movie, which arguably again was all I liked it, but a lot of people didn't, like episodes 1, 2, and 3. Uh, Disney could take a new spin on that, and I think a lot of the diehard Star Wars fans are like, "Oh, they're gonna change it, they're gonna ruin it, they're gonna wreck it." Well, you know what? If you guys saw, there was this one movie that came out kind of recently. Maybe you heard of it. It's called The Avengers. Owned by Marvel Entertainment, obviously. That's clearly not Disney. Oh, wait a list of Disney assets. Oh my god. Oh my god, let's pull that up for emphasis. Oh my god. Is that is that is that Marvel Entertainment? Now, the fair point has to be made. A lot of the Marvel movies have been kind of crap. Please refer like half of the comic book movies that have been out there, but they have put out good ones. And more specifically, more recently, The Avengers I think is a good show of that. But the only point of bringing any of that up is the fact that it's not bad. Everyone's crying bloody murder that Star Wars sold out, but if Disney can do for Star Wars what they did with the Avengers, because let's be honest, a lot of us, you probably saw Iron Man, you probably saw Thor, Captain America, and while they weren't bad movies, they weren't great movies. Star Wars is kind of already in that boat, and if Disney can transform it from what they did with all those other lesser movies and make it like the Avengers, I think we're all going to enjoy it a whole lot. But that's neither here nor there. The cool part about all of this that I wanted to explain to people, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if this is 100% fact, but this is me speculating off of a list of events that happened. So back in May, some of you may have remembered hearing about the story, and you haven't. Don't just listen to me. Go Google this. This isn't me making this up. George Lucas wanted to turn his huge billion-acre lot or whatever in Richardsville, middle of California, wherever the hell it is, into a private studio so he could do stuff like more Star Wars and create more video games and whatever. Just his own private studio. He'd have workers come in through bus. He had this whole thing planned out and it wasn't going to impact the environment whatsoever. However, his rich neighbors, hoity-toity, pinkies out, said, no, no, George Lucas, we don't want you ruining the area. We don't want your stinky buses and your polluting employees to come in and ruin our closed-gated neighborhood. So they protested him, and there was like some court and some small civil stuff, but it came down to bottom line where he could not build his studio on his own property just because the neighbors were causing such a fuss about it. Now, that's stupid that he can't do anything he wants on his own property. That's a whole other topic. But here's what he did in response. He said, okay, you know what? If I can't build a studio, what I'm going to do is then transform every acre of land I own into low-income housing so poor families can move into the neighborhood. I don't know if this was originally intended to be a threat or just like him bluffing, but for some reason, and I can't fathom this, that would actually be legally allowed and zoned and citied and etc. to build a bunch of low-income housing on his property, but not a working like studio for employees of whatever nature. So he did this, and again, this is back in May. Now we fast forward to the end of the year when construction and stuff would either be underway or already done. You realize, oh, he built a bunch of low-income housing. He pissed off his neighbors and quote-unquote ruined the closed-gated neighborhood that he lived in. Why not sell off the Star Wars franchise, move out of that area, and just go live in the middle of wherever he wants? Now, granted, of course, those of you who've been following the story, you know that he donated all the earnings to charity, but that's whatever. The point is, George Lucas is either a huge asshole or incredibly awesome. Either way, I just thought it was an interesting lead up to the events of selling Star Wars, and I thought it was kind of funny because I think a lot of that went under the radar of the media because you don't typically hear news stories on that. That's more of like I guess tabloid type stuff. But anyways, that's the story of like George Lucas and his landowning, and I thought it was really funny because everyone is so focused on like this one aspect. There's so many more. Like every story, of course, has its little behind the scenes bits, but this one in particular I thought was relatively funny because I'm pretty sure anyone and everyone who's watching my videos are like me, middle, lower class. We can't exactly do any of that stuff on our own, and it feels really good to vicariously live through the vengeance of somebody else. But that's going to be it for this vlog, guys. Hope you enjoyed the story. Make sure to look this stuff up on your own, of course. I'm not making this up, but yeah, so have a great day, everybody.